Welcome! In my previous video we spoke about the fundamental and key role of the change leader or change sponsor. Today we will be talking about the steering committee. First of all, I would like to underline that if you got an issue with the word committee, you can call it another way. So for example, you can call it steering board, or change board, executive change board. So you can use basically a wording that gives a more gravitas to it, because unfortunately in some organizations the committee is seen as a very administrative and sluggish paced sort of gathering. That's actually not the case. The steering committee plays a fantastic and very active role. First of all, the steering committee usually is, the members are nominated by the change leader or change sponsor, and are people that are senior enough and they are representing the departments that are going to be affected by change. So for example, if the change is going to affect the IT department, the purchasing department, the finance department, very likely the head of this department or people that are senior enough will be part of the steering committee. Basically, the role of the steering committee is to support the change sponsor in actually getting buy-in for the project. Most of all, one of the main roles of the steering committee is to brainstorm and to bounce ideas. Basically, is to show when, for example, there are potential challenges that can hinder the change, or actually they can, give ideas on some actions that can be taken. It's very important to get people that are not necessarily all the same, so otherwise you will not have a constructive challenge. But at the same time, it's very important not to get people in the steering committee that are far too negative. It's not unusual to get individuals that tend to be passive-aggressive. In some cases, resistance to change is very active, so people can be very vocal about it, and it's much easier to deal with this because you know where the person stands. In some cases, you may have people that say, oh, absolutely, everything is fine, and then basically they drag their feet. So for example, if they have some deadlines and they have to complete some tasks, they tend to make excuses and basically they don't make things happen. So be very careful when you choose a member of the steering committee that again they are first of all senior enough, that they got commercial acumen, that they are leaders, and most of all that they bought the change process themselves. They cannot be actually active members of the steering committee if they do not believe in the transformation program. Also, it is extremely important that the personalities and the way of doing things of the different members of the steering committee are quite different, because this would make the committee clearly much more effective. As I said, do not consider the word committee as negative. If in your company it has a negative connotation, use something else. Executive, board, whatever you want, something that basically is part of your company lingo, and that is going to show that these people are basically the machine, the engine of the change, and they are supporting both the change manager but also the change sponsor. Thank you so much for watching.